So we're live. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Whew. Yes, let's talk about it, guys. Here we go.
Choosing someone to sit in the Supreme Court, I believe, is one of the most serious constitutional responsibility a president has. Our process is going to be rigorous. I will select a nominee worthy of Justice Breyer's legacy of excellence and decency. While I've been studying candidates' backgrounds and writings, I've made no decision except one. The person I will nominate will be someone with extraordinary qualifications, character, experience, and integrity. And that person will be the first Black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court. It's long overdue in my view. Today, Justice Breyer announces his intention to step down from active service after 4 decades. 4 decades on the federal bench and 28 years on the United States Supreme Court. His legacy includes his work as a leading scholar and jurist in administrative law, bringing his brilliance to bear to make government.
All right, you heard it. Injustice. Steve Breyer is stepping down. So that means that the so-called, the first Black woman ever to sit on the Supreme Court is coming, according to Joe Biden. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. But I want to talk about what this means, which is a nothing burger. You know, Black people, this is a nothing burger for us. We already know that. But I want to start off by saying and asking a question. I don't have other stories that we're going to get into. We're going to get straight into this, right? So today's topic, and I won't be long on here, but today's topic is, who is the next top mammy? Biden potential Black woman to the Supreme Court. Okay, so let's go ahead and read the article from the Hill newspaper. I'll give them credit for this. 1967 Fair Use Act give us a right to basically critique news story. So we're going to critique the Hill's newspaper story that they written on January 29, 2022. They said, with Supreme Court promises, Biden centralizes race and gender. Following Injustice Stephen Breyer's retirement announcement, the White House had already confirmed that President Biden will fulfill his campaign pledge to fill the Supreme Court seat with a Black woman. Biden reported shortlist includes several candidates with the first-rate credentials. For example, Ketanji Brown, Jackson graduate from Harvard Law School, clerk for Breyer, and now sits on the U.S. Supreme Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. Leondra Kruger, graduated from Yale Law School, clerk for former Justice John Paul Stevens, and served on California Supreme Court. Irrespective of the judicial philosophies, such nominees would bring the requisite intellect and legal experience to the court, and either is worthy of nomination based on their credentials alone. As a Black woman, both judges would increase the diversity of bench and constitute historic picks. Not really, because their husbands, as you know, the spouse have to always be white, like Clarence Thomas. A wife is white. But anyway, it goes on to say, but when Jackson-Kruger or another candidate is tapped by Biden, It is their undisputed excellence that should earn them the nod, not a campaign promise that, while well intentioned, risks uncutting their accomplishments and giving doubters reasons to question their merits. Hmm. Now, the Hill is kind of going off this thing about, well, why are you keeping your campaign promise here? Okay, you remember this is a black person. Of course, there are numerous of qualified black women who Democrats might enthusiastically embrace as well addition to the Supreme Court. But regrettably, Biden's pronouncement, I think that's what it says here, risks undercutting their achievement by explicitly putting their race and gender first. You see, they always have this problem when it comes to black people. You see, they didn't say nothing, but when he basically sat there and gave Native Americans $4.6 billion. But anyway, I digress. Further, the plans restrict the shortlist to the particular subset of underrepresented groups, precluding the selection of a black man, as well as members of the groups of identities not represented on the court, including indigenous Americans, trans individuals, and Asian Americans. Let me ask you a question. They keep on with this transgender thing, and I thought The Hill was going to be a different newspaper, but it's turning out to be what I've expected a lot of other newspapers. The same old left, right, conservative, whatever you want to call it. It is no different. They speak that same language, but they try to add both the right points of view and the left point of view to their newspaper. That's not working for you, The Hill. Trans people, since the Democrats get in office, can you all just basically name something that trans people have done overwhelmingly? I mean, like, for instance, do a lot of transsexuals go to the army and fight for this country? I mean, I'm just asking for a person. You know, we keep on bringing up them a lot. We keep on bringing up immigrants a lot. It's a lot of these immigrants that Joe Biden is piling up over here. Are they going to go to the army or the military to fight for the country? You know, thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. I don't mean to get off the subject. I'm not off the subject per se, but I just need to ask these questions since the white media wants to always give other people, the right when we talk about black folks who want to change the subject. This is happening all the time. Biden might have considered any number of diverse candidates with left-leaning judicial philosophies for the Supreme Court seat, including Cyril Strevasan, Chief Justice of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit, who would be the first Indian American nominated to the bench, and Paul Warford, a black judge who served on the U.S. Court of Appeals in the Ninth Circuit. Neither of these candidates may be clearly preferred to Jackson, Kruger, or other accomplished black women who Biden is vetting. But neither should they, or any others, be precluded from consideration and based solely on their identities. Today they announced, of course, that they want Biden to spread out his nomination. Don't just look at a black woman. You got to look at everybody. That's what they're out here saying now. It's just some news report just came out and said that. They made that significant. As some observers have pointed out, Biden isn't the first president to bind himself to a Supreme Court nomination that placed identity at the core of the appointment process. In the 1980s, Ronald Reagan nobly vowed to nominate the first female Supreme Court justice. Ultimately, that pledge resulted in the nomination of former Justice Sandra Day O'Connor. But this kind of promise was as wrong then as it is now. The practice hasn't aged well, rectifying race and gender in tokenistic terms rather than emphasizing the merit of individuals. See, y'all only talk that talk when it's time to do something for black folks. Okay? We know that we had Clarence Thomas on there for a while, the so-called first black man to sit on the Supreme Court. Well, no, we had Thurgood Marshall first. I'm sorry. So it's Thurgood Marshall, then Clarence Thomas, right? And the Supreme Court has always been given injustice to us, no matter what it is, as Black folks. The numbers are not going to change, by the way, either. But it goes on to say here that Biden's explicit use of race and gender as a criteria for choosing the next Supreme Court justice also raises legitimate legal questions, just as the court has committed to hearing the high-profile affirmative action case involving race-conscious preference in higher education. Oh, really? Okay. Did this come up? Did this, like I said, did this come out when the Afghanistan got money? Did this come up when the Hispanics got DACA or the illegal immigrants got DACA? Did this come up, as I said earlier, when Native Americans got $4.6 billion? And as you know, Black people was a part of those treaties as well. See, this is all this. See, the white media always bring up, okay, well, you just can't include Black folks. Look at this person. Look at that person. And I'm not taking up for Joe Biden. I know that he is trying to pander to Black women. But this is not going to help him. Black folks specifically said, no, we want tangible benefits. No, we want reparations back on the table. We want tangible benefits. You know, we don't want to basically talk about voting rights and who you're picking on individual positions. That's not going to help us. Don't give us this symbolic gestures. Okay. You're putting another Black face on white power again, like you did with Obama and Kamala Harris and all these other people. We don't need that. Okay. Okay. And why is it that a Black person, like I said, who've been picked for a high position like let's say a Supreme Court or the president or vice president, why is it that they have to always have a white spouse? What's up with that? Okay, I'm just asking. Okay, the Hill goes on. The newspaper wants to talk about identities here. Goes on right here. Let's see. Biden explicit use. No, hold on. No, not there. It goes on to say here that federal law forbids private businesses and colleges from depriving applicants of opportunities based expressly on race. On the campaign trail in 2020, I don't see how that is when white women benefited mostly from affirmative action. But anyway, on the campaign trail in 2020, Biden made a similar promise to choose a woman as his vice president running mate, settling on Kamala Harris. The difference was that Harris' selection was a political candidate. The Supreme Court position is a federal government job. In the eyes of many liberals, nominees such as Jackson or Kruger would both substantively and symbolically positively contribute to the Supreme Court. In recent years, the Supreme Court has played a pivotal role in helping to overcome persistent racial and gender divides in America, and that the selection of a Black woman justice would mark another important milestone for progress. No, anytime, you see, they always make this crappy. Listen, no. Giving us our reparation for 465 years, that's progress. It goes on to say, but when the movement does not come, the appointment should be about excellence, not shrouding into a cloud of political obligation. Unfortunately, Biden insisted on placing gender and racial identity as the heart of the nomination process, have already made the ideal impossible. Okay, and that's what Thomas Giff, who's writing for the Hill magazine. The Hill want to talk about identities here. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. And as you know, the Hill, y'all reporting on this, knowing that this is not going to do anything for Black folks. This is a nothing burger. This is going to be nothing for Black folks. It's still a conservative majority. Okay. And it's just basically pandering to Black women. That's all. well, we felt like we let you down. We're going to get to you, black women. And so they can say, oh, see, we gave y'all the first black vice president, and we also gave y'all the first black Supreme Court justice. That's what they're going to do. The Democrats going to do. They always done that. But there's, like I said, in the white media, there's people who are already asking, well, why does she has to be black? Just like I just pointed out to what the Hill commentary was talking about. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Okay? Like, share, and subscribe. Okay? They're already they're already trying to erase the blackness, talking that trans crowd, that LGBT stuff. And like I said earlier, has there any LGBT people? Have they went to have LGBT people? How many LGBT people that's in the army fighting for our country, that's died for our country? Since they want to always be a part of everything, lesbians and gays. When are they going to start? They're going to be a lot. How many LGBT members are in the army? I want to just know that. For instance, I just really want to know that number. Okay. Now he probably going to announce this. He said he won't announce it yet. Joe Biden. He said he's going to announce it soon. He probably do it on at the same time as Black History Month. But some of the nominees, let's get to them. U.S. District Judge Michelle Childs, in California Supreme Court Leondra Kruger, Minnesota U.S. District Judge Wilhelmina Wright. I hope I said that name right. Eunice Lee and Candice Jackson-Akiwumi. And also, like I said, now old Negro Jim Clyburn, he is going for South Carolina Judge Michelle Childs. That's who he picked. That's his girl. I want y'all to pick my girl Michelle Childs. Oh, stop all this sloganizing. So Negro Jim Clyburn wants South Carolina Judge Michelle Childs. I think that's the one who got the black husband. I mean, the white husband, right? Stop sloganizing. Okay, stop sloganizing. Okay. Yeah, old Negro Jim Clyburn. He wants Judge Michelle Childs. Okay. And as you know, this is a judge from South Carolina. That's probably the reason why he wants this. Clyburn, architect of Biden court pledge, pushes his pick. Okay. At President Joe Biden lowest moment in 2020 campaign, South Carolina Representative Jim Clyburn came to him with a suggestion. He should pledge to put a black woman on the Supreme Court. After some cajoling, Biden made the promise at a Democratic debate, a move Clyburn credits with turning out the black support that helped Biden score a resounding victory in the South Carolina primary and ultimately win the White House. Which now, of course, since he's not doing anything for black folks and neither is old Negro Jim Clyburn, y'all little votes are going to come up short this time. I think the Republicans got it this time. But it goes on to say here at ABC News, who I give credit to, it's 2 years later, the hope for vacancy on the court has arrived with the retirement of Justice Stephen Breyer. Biden is standing by his pledge, and Clyburn, the highest-ranking black member of Congress, had another ask. Judge Michelle has everything I think it takes to be great, Clyburn said. As the lobbyists began overfilling the open court seat, Clyburn is harnessing his history with Biden, and his stature as the number 3 House Democrat to make a forcible case for his preferred choice, U.S. District Judge J. Michelle Childs, a jurist from his native South Carolina. It is a campaign he's making in public and private, helping elevate Childs in an emerging shortlist of Black women who could soon make history. In addition to Childs' early discussion about the successor, including California Supreme Court Justice Leondra Kruger, as well as Ketanji Brown Jackson, a former Breyer clerk who now on the U.S. Courts of Appeal for the District of Columbia Circuit. Biden is also looking at U.S. District Court Judge Wilhelmina Wright from Minnesota and Melissa Murray, a New York University law professor who is an expert in family law and reproductive right justice. For Biden, the court open is a chance to show Black voters that he has not forgot his promise to them, particularly after his failure this month to deliver on voting rights legislation in the Senate. He said Thursday that having a Black woman on the court is long overdue, that he would announce his choice by the end of February. Now, as y'all know, this is pandering. Okay? Like I said, giving individual Black people positions do not help the Black race whatsoever. These are individual symbolic gestures. Okay, we know about these symbolic gestures. They've been doing it ever since the Civil Rights Movement in 1964. Giving symbolic gestures. It goes on to say, for Biden, the court opened a chance to show. Clyburn has had a head start. He began making his case for Child more than 2 years ago. In December 2020, just weeks after Biden won the White House, Clyburn said he wrote the then president-elect advocating that Childs be promoted from South Carolina's federal trial bench to this D.C. Courts of Appeal, a seat on the court he often seen as a springboard for Supreme Court nominees. Everybody says, well, that way you need to go to the Supreme Court, Clyburn said, of the appellate level. I never agreed to that, but I don't have to agree with all the rules that I have to play by, end quote. Last month, Biden officially submitted Child's name for an open slot on a circuit court. Her Senate hearing had been expected this coming week, which have been given Childs a closely watched audition of sort. But staffers said Friday that they had been delayed. In an interview over recent days, Clyburn has argued that if Childs were nominated, she could win back the South Carolina 2 Republican senators, Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott, an enticing prospect for Biden, offering the possibility of a pit that could satisfy the party and also win bipartisan support. On Sunday, Graham, a former Senate Judiciary Committee chairman, praised Child as a fair-minded, highly gifted jurist who would bring important perspective to the high court if chosen. In the history of our country, we only had 5 women serve as 2 African-American men. So that makes the court more like America, Graham told CBS Face the Nation. He goes on to say, but qualification has to be the biggest consideration. And as Michelle Childs, I think she qualified every measure. A spokesman for Scott lauded Childs' respected reputation as a judge in South Carolina and said he looked forward to engaging with her if she is the nominee, end quote. Unlike most high court nominees, Child isn't an Ivy League graduate or a former federal appellate clerk. The 55-year-old graduate from the University of South Carolina School of Law. She also holds a master's degree from the University of Business School, as well as a legal master's from Duke. Clyburn, who often pushed for ethnic and educational diversity among Biden's cabinet picks, said he felt Child's education outside the Ivy League coupled with her upbringing in a single-parent household, would give the court an important perspective is now missing. We run the risk of creating elite society, Clyburn told reporters. We got to recognize that people come from all walks of life. We ought to not dismiss anyone because of that. Okay. And we'll stop right there because it's, you get the point. So, the white media out there talking about, oh, well, see, look at this. This is what he's going to get he's going to get some some support back from the black vote. Oh, look, he's putting the first black woman on there. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So what we have to do now, we have to vote for Democrats. No. We're sick and tired of Democrats playing games. We're sick and tired of it. The younger generation understands the game. It's these old Negroes who just don't get it. We're not, we just had enough. We know the game plan. We're the Democrats. We put a black woman to the Supreme Court. It is it's kind of crazy to just think that individual people is doing something for the whole race. Any black person who still believes that is crazy. You see. And like I said, I still think the Democrats finessed this election. I don't think they won. I'm sorry. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. I just don't think they won. I'm sorry. But this is all about mamminism. This is about asking who is the next top mammy. Biden potential black women Supreme Court. It's all about we're going to cater to black women, but we need a mammy at the top because we don't trust those black people who have a black spouse. Okay. So it's more about choosing a mammy. Kamala Harris was chosen because she has a white husband. Okay. So this Childs lady, I think, has a white husband. I think he's a doctor or something. Right. So that's what is going on. And what is going on is that I asked the question earlier. Why do these nominees have to have a white spouse just to win the court? It's almost like they do in Hollywood. Like these black people, they get money and then all of a sudden they date a white woman or a white man. It's almost like, what is the issue here? Why you can't trust your own people? I just don't get it. Okay. But then again, I may be, I don't know. A lot of y'all call me a bigot. So I said, I guess I may be that then. But I just want to know if we are so-called a country that anything happened. I'm trying to figure out why haven't a black politician won really a judge that is with the same color. Maybe the wife and the husband could bring more ideas than the typical white spouse who basically we've been living under white rule for in this country has been like established for 236 or 37 years now, and we've seen the same old game played. We're seeing they are not giving black people any type of tangible benefits. Illegal immigrants get to come over here and they get resources, they get DACA laws, the Native Americans, everybody gets something, but we get symbolic gestures, giving us a Juneteenth holiday. How is that going to help black folks? And that's what they do to us. This is the disrespect that they do to us because they know that black folks are going to do the same thing. They know that our leadership has been brought out, they're being compromised, and they're not going to do nothing for us. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe, family. Oh, excuse me. So, yeah, this is a nothing burger. This is a nothing burger. Get my lights up, y'all, because I already know ScrewTube got us on the shallow band. Get my lights up. So we already know who he's going to pick. He's going to pick South Carolina Judge Michelle Childs. She got a white husband. She basically is just like Kamala Harris, and they're going to be mamming this up, because, white supremacists, they love these bed wenches. They love these people who hate black men. So we already know it's going to be Childs. Okay. And this is a perfect pick because, we see that Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court has not changed. In fact, Dr. Claude Anderson was right on the money when he said that the Supreme Court has never, ever ruled in favor of black people. That is the most racist organization. And so since Injustice Breyer is stepping down, there's no difference. Because like I said earlier, it's still going to be a conservative majority, right? So we don't have, this is a nothing burger here. To have all of these black women, being praised so that they could basically then pander later. See, well, we put a black woman on the Supreme Court, so y'all got to vote for us. See, we Democrats, we haven't forgot about y'all. That's a nothing burger. Oh, we put a lot of black folks. Joe Biden is the only one. They got a lot of black folks in a diverse cabinet. That's a nothing burger. That's the same thing with old foolish Negro Mark Marial said of the Urban League. So that's the reason why we can't trust the older black generation, because they basically have sold us out. And they basically, it's refusing to tell the white supremacists that we need tangible benefits and we're fighting for reparations. Okay. If you have not visited LawyerHendersonTV.com, we hope that you do so. And I told you, like I said, typically I go on for 40 to 50 minutes, but man, the black media, we've been all over this. We've been all over it. So I'm not going to just beat a dead horse, gosh. We already know what this is. They've done everything. These people have done everything. Joe Biden has done everything for every other group of black folks. And this is one thing that he's going to try to use to say he done something for us. They like to deal with, white people and white racists. They like to deal with us on an individual level so the whole group don't benefit as a whole. As I told you in other commentary, what Dr. John Henry Clark taught us is that white supremacy believe in keeping black folks in a beggary position where they lack resources. Okay. Remember what Abraham Lincoln or George Washington, I think it was Abraham Lincoln, who said that even after he supposedly had freed the slave, is that he still thought that the white man should have all of this power over the black man. And one of the ways that black men could then wield power is they have to have land and they have to have economics in their communities. So they basically don't give them that and don't give us that so that we can basically go out and engage in crime. Okay. And that's one of the real reasons that we see. But like I said, join us next week. We're going to be here, the same location, so same time, same place. I'm Lawyer Henderson. Don't forget to hit my thumbs up and peace.